ATL.GA Faithful, my people. I'm the Douglas Carter, back on the scene doing my thing, and I just want to say I appreciate you and the work that you do. ATL ride with Ritter, that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what you should do too. So the question is, why is Desmond Ritter that guy? I'm about to show you.
When Desmond Ritter was in third grade, he went to a football game at Louisville St. X, and he told his dad one day he would be their quarterback. It happened. When only 2 programs gave him a Division I offer, he didn't care. Now Desmond has UC on the brink of their third 11-win season in program history.
Desmond Ritter thrives when his back is against the wall.
A natural leader from Pee Wee to high school football at St. X in Louisville. This has been the story of Desmond Ritter from day one. The kid is a winner.
We leave the stadium and we're like, that just happened.
Yeah, you absolutely have to pinch yourself.
You know, he had goals. He wanted to be the quarterback at the high school here. He said he was going to play on Saturdays, and his next goal is play on Sundays. So he's conquered 2 of the 3. We got 1 more left, and it could happen.
He's just a natural leader. I mean, he's been that way since he was 4 years old. He could control the room, you know, as a freshman. I mean, it's just unbelievable the way he just kind of puts an aura of calming sense off.
He knew what it took to make it to the next level, and had his best season his senior year, as he threw for over 800 yards in 10 games with 8 touchdowns and only 4 picks, and in turn he was named All-Metro. You may look at this and be like, how did he only throw for 800 yards? And my answer to that is, he also ran for over 800 yards and 16 touchdowns. Desmond's high school stats don't look too good on paper, with only 800 passing yards and 14 touchdowns to go along with 12 picks, but he was able to run the ball for over 1,300 yards and 25 TDs. With a solid senior year behind him, Desmond was now a 6'3", 175-pound, 3-star coming out of high school.
His next big dream. It's a dream every football player dreams. But when Desmond dreams it, they consider it done. Desmond Ritter's story is a story of confidence.
Pocket for Ritter. Steps up. There he goes. Desmond Ritter. Touchdown.
You know, I just kind of had it all since I was little. I always just go out thinking I'm the best player on the field.
Ritter's confidence won him the starting job on just the 3rd series of the season as a redshirt freshman. It was the 4th game of the season at halftime when Ritter knew he had to take the reins for this team.
I stood out the second half and told him, like, we got to go, this is it. I think that if you come out and you think that, oh, maybe this guy's better than you, then you're going to play a little soft and a little timid. But if you go out there knowing that you're the best, then I think no one can stop you.
He's a great leader overall, on and off the field, in the weight room and stuff like that. He's outspoken and he knows how to take charge.
It's the kind of confidence that changed the direction of UC's season.
Ritter, end zone, caught for the touchdown!
Really good opportunity, and I took advantage of it.
It just excites me to see him reach his goals. Because he sets them, and when he sets them, there's nothing getting in his way.
Do y'all hear what they saying about Desmond Ritter, his parents, and the other people that have had the pleasure of getting to know him? When he sets his goals, when he dreams it, it's as good as done, all right? No matter what he has to do, he works his way up through the ranks, and he gets it done. So Atlanta Falcons, be ready for that, okay? So let's watch how he shreds up my UGA Bulldogs in the Chick-fil-A Bowl right here.
And that pivotal win for the Bearcats. Ritter gonna throw it. Finds Pierce, as you pointed out, Dusty, complete inside the 20. Ritter back to pass over the middle, finds his man Pierce, and touchdown! Bearcats strike first. With quality to be a thing. Really won a lot of respect of the locker room. Great pass and catch. Pierce goes in motion. Ritter slides his feet, still alive, eluding that rush, fires, cross field, Wiley, caught, touchdown! Desmond Ritter seeing his big target, Josh Wiley, start to work back to the corner of the end zone. Just watch him buy time. No one's open. He eludes the rush. And he, right there, freeze it, guys. He locates him here. He sees that Wiley has worked back, sets himself up, reestablishes, and then Wiley, with the athleticism and agility to go get that football, secure the catch, and complete it. It's an outstanding job of keeping your eyes down the field as Desmond Ritter. He's such a talent as a runner. And here he's using his athleticism to be a passer and give his wide receiver, his big tight end, time to work open. And he pays it off working back to the football.
Yeah, Wiley,
very well done.
Ritter finished his college career with 44 wins, third most by a quarterback in FBS history. Big part of that was how he performed against the blitz. Over his last 2 seasons at Cincinnati, Ritter threw 28 touchdowns, just 1 interception when he was blitzed. Dan, there is something that Ritter does that no other quarterback does as well as him in this class.
That's me, Ritter. This is like, I don't want to say the steal of the draft, but it feels like a steal. It feels like a steal.
Let me tell you a little bit about Desmond Ritter. Now, him and 3 other guys lived in a house together every day, but I was in that house every single day. I've been with him every day for a couple of months now. I've said it from day one. This kid is an adult. This is like a 35-year-old, 21-year-old. And he showed it in every phase of his life, the way he takes care of his family, the way he shows up in the classroom, the leader that you hear his teammates say that he is. It's one thing to buy into a process. I think most guys do. It's another thing to believe in habits and developing great behaviors. When you look at it through the lens of a pro, and a pro doesn't necessarily mean that you've played X amount of years. It doesn't mean that you've had X amount of productivity. I know guys who never really played a snap and are considered a pro, and I know guys who've started a long time who don't act like pros. And Desmond is a college kid, an amateur athlete who, from day one, and especially these last 3 months, has conducted himself like a true pro.
He's got the best quarterbacking tape. That doesn't mean I think he's the best or the most impressive. That means that he's got the best pre-snap and post-snap operation. Getting to the line of scrimmage, understanding what the defense is doing. Maybe it's getting in and out of run checks. Maybe it's changing your protection. You got to communicate all that to everybody on your football team, and then that's that pre-snap. And then post-snap, can you operate the same way you did pre-snap to make sure everybody's on the same page to take advantage of the defense? This clip versus Indiana is a perfect example. Okay, so pre-snap operation. I want everyone to pay attention to this edge defender right now. As Desmond Ritter is going through his cadence right there, he's going to see this edge defender start to walk the line of scrimmage. That's clue number 1. Now, when that happens, watch what he does. Walks to the line of scrimmage and starts to go through this communication process. I love this. He's going to the line of scrimmage and starts walking to the right. Why is he doing that? They're playing on the road versus Indiana. It's going to be a loud stadium. You got to make sure that everybody on the right side of your offensive line is hearing your communication. Now he's going to come back to the left side, and I love this process. Look at how he's pointing. He's pointing to his offensive line, not only verbally communicating, but saying, hey, fellas, these 2 guys, they're going to be blitzers. I changed the protection. I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. Part of this pre-snap communication. Now he's going to go, hey, tailback, pay attention. Here comes that blitzer. I want you to be ready. There's that pre-snap part of this, now post-snap. What's going to happen is this. This is his number 1 receiver, okay? This is Alec Pierce, his slot receiver. You're going to get a triangle coverage. You see these 3 defenders? They're playing 3 over 2. That's not a good place to go to the football. You got those edge pressure guys. I told you that he's going to send his offensive line, right guard, all the way to the left tackle. He's going to send 4 guys to those blitzers. I've changed the protection. I'm diagnosing the coverage. Now the question is, do you see the coverage? I told you the triangle, so where's the vacancy that you can go with the football? It's in the middle of the field. Look at all that space that as a quarterback, if you have diagnosed the pressure and you've taken advantage of the opportunity to go attack, can you see it? And then now I want to know, can you make the throw as you are about to get your sternum split in half by this defender that your offensive line doesn't pick up? Can you still make that throw to that in-breaking tight end and put it right on his chest for a huge completion? There's that pre-snap operation and the communication. There's the post-snap operation. When I watch Desmond Ritter, the guy that I think he reminds me most of is Alex Smith. Really smart, really accurate, a little bit mechanical, and a sneakily very good athlete. The boys from Athens, Ohio, no, Desmond Ritter is rising up the draft boards because of how good he plays quarterback up top.
Yeah, that communication makes sense when we heard so much about his interviews at the Combine even. And Matt, we showed your tweet before the break saying that Ritter could move into the top 20. Why is this narrative changing around this quarterback?
Taylor, I think a lot of it is some of what Dan showed. This is the time of year where you're not convincing us that you're a good football player. You're convincing us that your character, your leadership, your football IQ, your athleticism at the combine, those are the tools right now that a player can really use to move up draft boards. And I believe that's what Desmond Ritter's doing. As you said, we've all heard about how good the combine interviews were, or him coming in saying, hey, I'm going to take the job of a veteran if you draft me. I love that confidence. When you match it with the athletic tools, the 50 games in college as well, he's experienced, he's smart. I think we saw this year him get better with some of the accuracy issues that plagued his tape in 2020. But despite the fact that his offensive line, quite frankly, was not very good this year. So I think that's why teams are starting to really like Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, when you look at a guy like Desmond Ritter, it's about the tape, right? You go and look at the tape and you want to see that the meetings, right, or the conversations match what you saw on the football field. And you would look at what Dan was able to diagram about how he was pre-snap, how that also processed once he had the football in his hand. That's what you want quarterbacks to do. And now what teams have to do is visualize him in their building, in their locker room, on their field with some of the players that they have around them. Is Desmond Ritter going to become this all-pro caliber quarterback?
This is an example of him manipulating or operating in operational space. So it's going to be a really full progression read. This go receiver up top is a go route. Now that's a pre-snap alert. If that corner was pressed with no safety help over the top and you want to take a shot downfield, that's an alert pre-snap, yes or no, take it. Now the progression comes to this. This tight end's going to run an out route. We've got a deep crossing route. And then we have a big post at the bottom of the screen. They are going to read 1 to 2 to 3. Now watch how Desmond Ritter goes about his business in creating that operational space. He's peeking to the right. Again, that go route is no longer available. And as that tight end runs that out-breaking route, that linebacker is going to match. So, okay, number 1 in my progression no longer is available. He's going to bring his eyes to number 2. But as he brings his eyes to 2, he's got this internal stunt. Now, I know everybody, and I do too, loves when quarterbacks in this moment, they just take off, run, and it's awesome. But this is what it looks like to have operational space. I want everyone to really pay attention to his feet. Because as these defensive tackles are going to close in on him, can you still remain a passer for when that progression of a deep cross or post becomes available? Watch how good this is. Shuffle, shuffle. His feet stay a passer, right? That is phenomenal. That's what it looks like to be an Alex Smith type of player. And as these guys are running at him, he's going to launch that big post downfield about 55 yards. Now, the back angle is really beautiful because you can see how his eyes match his feet. He catches the snap and he's peeking to the right. Again, when he peeks to the right, that linebacker matches that tight end on the out route. Here comes that pressure, and I love this instinct. As these guys wrap, the ball doesn't drop. He keeps the ball on his chest. And again, focusing on those feet to go with that shuffle. He can remain a passer. As he does, he sees that crosser get cut by that safety. I want to take my shot on the big post, but you have to be ready for the moment. Right when that 11 gets his hands up, his feet are ready, throws a perfect ball to give this guy an opportunity right in between the hashes to go make a big play for his offense 55 yards downfield. So often we see players in that moment, they tuck the ball around, they take off running, and it looks great. It's just not something that you can hang your hat on for consistency. He's great at the line of scrimmage, but also just the remaining a passer and manipulating, handling the pocket is done at the highest level in this class.
Very good leader in the locker rooms in the NFL and play for a decade? Absolutely. And I believe that's what people are seeing when they get opportunities to sit down with him and pick his brain a bit.
And Desmond Ritter is a little bit like Trevor Lawrence was last year, where he's such a good athlete. You want him to use it more. He's so ready and mechanically sound and fundamentally sound that there's moments where he's just like, hey, you are a big athlete. Just go take off and run it.
Why do you think Desmond Ritter is rising so much up these boards?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's because of what Dan just illustrated, which is when you dig into Ritter's tape, you see a quarterback who not only grew and developed over the course of his career every season, but by the end of it, as a senior, became the best processor in this class. A willing and patient pocket passer who still gets the ball out quickly, is very adept at reading coverages, setting protections. Big part of the reason why he's so good against the blitz, as you illustrated. He's kind of like your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback.
Well, I got news for you. There's not a big gap from Pickett down to Ritter. And there are some teams that I've talked to that think Ritter is the number one quarterback, that they have him as the number one quarterback on the court. So there's a lot of different opinions in the league. I'll say this with Ritter. His maturity and the way he's handled himself in interviews and one-on-one time with NFL teams is part of the reason why we're talking about a rise, if you will. his play, we all knew about it. They all studied the tape. But when you get with him and you see what he's been through in his life, the maturity that he has, and how willing he is, he's a gym rat. He loves ball. It's 24/7, and they see that. And teams can't be fooled by that portion of it, and I think it's really come out. Listen, I love his tape for the most part, like 80% of it. There's 20% with the footwork and the accuracy that has to improve. But I would bet on this guy to wind up being a better quarterback in the NFL than where he winds up getting drafted.
With Desmond, the one thing that I can stand on is I like guys that have proven that they're winners over time. You know, he won in high school. He's 34-4, something like that in college. He's 26 or 27-0 at home. I like those types of data points. Yards can be misleading. Touchdowns can be misleading. Interceptions, somebody throws a lot of picks, that can be misleading. But I like wins.
Well, the comp that I hear a lot is Dak. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think there's some similarities to Dak. A winner. Dak is a work ethic guy. He handles every situation correctly. And I guess I'll take a step back. We've talked about this in the past, Rich. Mm-hmm. When I'm evaluating quarterbacks, I look at two things. I look at confidence and I look at maturity. Confidence is, not having reactionary confidence where I'm reacting to the situation, and if it's going well, I'm good. If it's going bad, I'm losing confidence. But it's self-generated confidence where put me in any situation, I believe this about myself, right? Dak and Dez, you could definitely compare those two guys there. But the maturity side of things is where I really see a comparison with Dak and Dez. So Dez grew up very, very quick. Man of the house when he was little. His mom had him when she was 15 years old. So just a lot of life happened for Dez at a very, very young age. And this is a kid who's never been in trouble, always gotten good grades, Mr. Volleyball in the state of Kentucky when he picked up a new sport, and then takes over this program and they're getting hot and they turn it around, and he just never lost a game at home and has handled all these situations so well. Does he have a plan in place to get there? And I would say with Desmond Ritter, throws to the left, some balls outside to the right, down the field beyond 30 yards, intermediate accuracy, with internal. Yeah, there's just these little things where you go, yeah, I'd like to see him get cleaner there, but, I'm working with him. But also, this kid has a plan for that. And with his work ethic and his approach to the game and how mature he is, then it's just a matter of time. He's going to be there. And that's why people go, well, I want to make my list based off where they're at today. Yeah, usually we have one or two guys that everybody says, oh, this guy's ready right now, but they need more time. And I don't think that's a knock on somebody to say, hey, in the next year or two, this guy's going to reach his potential. And when he gets to that potential, if that's really high, then that's the evaluation.
Ranking of the quarterbacks in particular here. I would say this, and I know how much you love Carson Strong. Desmond Ritter arguably has helped himself more than any other quarterback in this process. Going all the way back to the Senior Bowl, he played really well in the game. I talked to coaches and front office people at the Combine who said his interviews were by far the best. He's so mature, so prepared. You can feel the leadership to him. And then he went out on the field in Indianapolis too and was excellent and tested absolutely off the chart.
For a guy to go 43-6, you got to have something to you. You got to have that leadership quality. You have to have things that translate. Here, we have a dual read, right? You're going to have at the top. We're going to pause it here for a little bit. Boom, there he is at quarterback. Beautiful position. We just talked about it. You have the all-go on the one side. You have two ends on the other. It's important to move the safety on the all-go side. So he looks to the right to get the safety from Notre Dame to kind of slide away from it. And then it's about ball placement. Once you get on your back foot, it's about ball placement. Here you see you have one-on-one on the outside. And we like to throw that ball high and outside. So it's away from the defender covering and far enough away from the safety so your receiver can make a catch safely and protect himself. Ball placement is key when you talk about Ritter. One of the reasons why they're so successful. Again, look at this. High and outside over the receiver's shoulder. That's what you want. Now, here we go again. In the tight area, we have a out-in combo on the right side. We're going to go get it going. Ball placement, timing, and accuracy. You see it. Guys are covered. Get off that quickly. Very quick with decisions. He sees they're covered, moves his head back over. He's able to move the defender to the flat. And then look at this throw and this ball placement here with a defender in his face. Okay, the confidence to rip this ball in there in a tight throw high so only your receiver can go make that back inline catch. It's tough to make these type of throws. He did this consistently at the University of Cincinnati. And then the last but not least, especially if you're playing quarterback at this age, is athleticism, being able to understand and manipulate the pocket. You see your guys blocking for you here. Everyone's covered. He's looking around like, I don't have anyone. I'm going to step up in the pocket and see what I can kind of create with my legs. I love the ability to step up. Keeps his eyes down the field, which is huge for young quarterbacks. Sees the defender here flat-footed, breaks inside. Use your athleticism to get outside and hit the corner. Look, Cincinnati found them one there. And again, bang that drum.
I will add, though, I also think he turned some heads with his performance at the Combine, running a 4.5240. He wasn't asked to run that much in Cincinnati's offense, a few design runs throw in, but I think teams saw at the next level that is a trait that he can bring to the table that raises his ceiling.
And the only way that happens is if there's good chatter amongst coaches and people like him and people are into this reputation that he's built. The fascinating thing is that he committed to Cincinnati to play football coming out of high school because the coach that found him and recruited him and got him to be a Bearcat was then offensive coordinator for Cincinnati, Zach Taylor, right before Zach Taylor left to take the Rams job under McVay. So he is well thought of by one extremely important young, innovative NFL coach who will not be drafting him, but surely spreads the word about him. And if the buzz gets out there, wow, Taylor liked this kid back in the day, and I like he can chuck it, and he threw it 80 yards at the end of his pro day, maybe he does.
So that's Brown right, A right, 2 jets of protection, flanker short post, X shake. Like it. Tell me about your daughter.
Oh, my daughter's my everything.
That pulled a smile out of your face.
Yeah, Layton, miss her name. We're playing her 1-year-old birthday party right now.
Do you see any similarities between being a leader of men and being a parent?
I would say, there's a couple similarities. First one is being able to be responsible and take control. I would say those are the 2 main things.
All right, draw my play.
Yep.
What's the formation?
You got Brown right.
Yeah, what else?
A short.
He's going to go which direction?
He's going to go motion.
A right.
Motion outside.
All right.
2 jet is the protection.
Yep. Who's that?
This is the flanker. This is Jerry Rice here.
All right, you got to get him the ball, huh?
Yep. Verse 1 high. He's going to keep it up the seam. Tight end here is going to be on a shallow route. He's got the option to sit versus zone. He's got the option to continue versus man.
Yeah.
And then back here, this is T.O. back here. And he's going to run what we like to call a shake route. And then if it's cover 2,
yeah,
and this safety, it's 2 high safety, and this guy's cheating over here a little bit because he got Jerry Rice over here. We want an inside release here, stem at him to get his attention to pull him back over this way and then break to the corner here.
Yeah.
And then our tailback here, relationship, good history with them.
Yeah.
We're going to take that all day.
And your number 1 receiver is right here in the seam, and you're going to take that, huh?
Yeah, so.
You better complete it.
Better complete it. And so then if we got 2 high here like we do, and instead of him running a seam, he's going to cross his safety's face, and we're going to bang it right here for a touchdown.
You're a smart guy. You're going to be able to do this very well. Proud of you, man. Keep it going, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Desmond Ritter thrives when the pressure is on him. Desmond Ritter plays his best football when the most is expected out of him. And, buddy, those things are 100% on his shoulders.
So, I think y'all are starting to get the picture now from Little League Rec to high school to college. Desmond Ritter is the constant pro. He has the speed to break off chunk plays if he wants to. Ran the 40, 4.49 to 4.52 is the speed range right there. So that's booking it for a quarterback. But the thing with Desmond is he is a pocket passer first, and he only uses his legs when he needs to, which is exactly what you want in a starting NFL quarterback. So now that we touched on his journey up through college, we're going to touch on his professional career that's just getting started. And we're going to start it off with his first touchdown in the NFL, be it a preseason game against the Lions, a nice touch pass. He can put touch on his balls. He can zip it. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw every route in the route tree, as y'all can see. And, the last play to win the game, it wasn't the last play, but it was 4th down. We had to have it. and he scrambled around, made a play, threw it up. Bernhardt caught it in the end zone, touchdown. We got the thrilling victory in the preseason game, and let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll chop up the other 4 games that he played towards the end of the season for our Atlanta Falcons.
All up and giving his receiver a chance to make the play. And for Desmond Ritter, his first touchdown pass. Ritter, pocket collapsing. Extends the play, lets it fly, and it's caught. Oh my goodness. Somehow, Ritter pulls a rabbit out of his hat, and the Falcons roll the dice and convert on 4th and 9 to take the lead.
Okay, now let's check in with Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion Kurt Warner, and hear what he has to say about Mr. Desmond Ritter.
I want to take a look at Desmond Ritter today, who I thought was the best rookie of the bunch across the board with the things that he did. Okay, so I said Desmond Ritter to me had the best debut of any of these rookie guys. And what we remember about Desmond Ritter coming out of college is that he was really, really good in terms of awareness and cerebrally understanding what he was supposed to do with the football and recognizing what the defense was doing. And I saw that translate, because that's what we're always looking for when we're looking at drafted quarterbacks or as we go into the draft. What are the things that can translate to the next level? Thought he struggled a little bit coming out of college just with being a true, pure passer, but made up for it with the leadership and his awareness. And it starts right here, first completion right here, and you're going to see it, right? We've got a little hook right here, a little inside fade, a little hitch out here, a combination that everybody runs. And what you're going to notice is outside linebacker is sitting outside of number 2, okay? Inside backer is way tucked inside, so they're leaving a window right here. Usually what that tells me is if you're out of position from a linebacker standpoint, you're probably going to drop somebody down. Otherwise, you're just putting yourself in a bind. But he recognizes pre-snap, that exact thing. There's the window. I've got a guy going to that window. They're going to try to rotate down late. Never going to get there. Know where I'm going with the football. Boom. Hit that back foot. Ball's out. Recognize it pre-snap that they were misaligned or they were leaving a window there. Take advantage of it. Awareness. Awareness at the quarterback position is probably as big as anything that you could possibly do.
All right, now let's check out Desmond Ritter's first game as an NFL starter against our arch nemesis, the New Orleans Saints, down in New Orleans. Couldn't be a more pressure-filled spot to get your first start in the NFL, and Desmond Ritter was on his way to lead us to a victory comeback in the fourth quarter. If nothing else, put us in great field position to kick a field goal to tie the game up. Down by 3, 4 minutes left, 1st and 10, sees Michael Pruitt, hits him right there. Check the time.
In a New Orleans game, it's 4th and 5. Gotta have it for the Falcons. Over the middle, Drake London. He makes the catch, but he gets it knocked out of his arm and back into the New Orleans Saints' hands. Oh!
So as you can see right there, 4th and 5. Ritter delivers in the clutch. 2 minutes left. Hits London. We would have been set up on the 35. Could have made a field goal or drove it in for the touchdown for the win. And that's what I call clutch right there. So we know he's got that clutch gene. Okay, so now we check on his second start against the Ravens. 6-0, second quarter, on our way driving to score. And unfortunately, London coughs it up again. And that could have been a momentum changer right there. So you see he delivers it on the dime, hits him in stride. London just got to hold on to the ball. Now in this play, steps up in the pocket, hits him on a nice out, driving to try to come back and make this a good game. Right here, he has pressure in his face. He steps up, ain't concerned about it. Throws another dime, 1st down. He's still going. Look at this pass right here to Drake London, who catches it and doesn't fumble this time. I mean, Ritter puts this ball in the perfect spot where only Drake London can get it. Now let's check out Desmond Ritter's first win against the Arizona Cardinals. I was actually at this game. He pulling Houdini right there and escaping right here. You know, it looks like he's got. I thought he was sacked, but nah, he scrambles, turns it into a positive play. And this is what you want. The pocket breaks down. You don't go down easy. Get your balance and make a play. But do it smart. You know, adds a little stiff arm. Get off me, dog. And then here, we're up by 1. Driving. Nice pass to Cordell Patterson. Now, we're losing by 2 points. 3 minutes, fourth quarter. Game time. What does Desmond Ritter do? Comes through clutch. Another perfectly placed pass, dime, tight window. It doesn't get better than that, guys. Still, clutch. So we come back and we hit the field goal and win that game. Now, on to the Bucks, the Yucks. You know, we could say we beat Brady. He kind of stepped out of the game when Grady scared him. But Ritter's still doing his thing. Look at that. Scrambling out the pocket. Touch pass to Michael Pruitt for the win. That's how we do it. So I pretty much touched on everything in this video. Definitely more positive feedback for Desmond Ritter as our starting quarterback. Yeah, there is some negative things. Yeah, there is a couple areas that need improvement, but that's with everybody. The good thing about Desmond Ritter is he is the one to actually make the improvements. So I appreciate everybody. If you made it through the whole video, I salute you. You know, if you feel like it, subscribe, share, comment. I get back to all my comments. Like, I don't know if I said that already, but y'all know the whole gambit of things. Y'all know how I do it, man. And with our defensive free agent signings, this team is just getting better and better and better. I'll make another video about that soon. I don't know if we're done yet. We haven't even hit the draft. And with the draft, we could do whatever we want. So, Atlanta Falcon fans, we should be excited. We're going to ride with Ritter. I'm telling y'all, he's going to be that guy. And I just showed y'all why. Anyway, I'm going to end this video like I end all my videos. Thank God works. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. One.
If you have a good quarterback who is getting paid third-round money as a rookie deal, you can build like crazy around him.
There's not one person in this city or a Falcons fan in the country or world who does not want Desmond Ritter to be the man.
Yeah, and if he is, we're just going to be building around him in a huge way.
No question.